jazz festival that could potentially be used for additional advertising by those promoters, and the thought was to basically use the promoters as sales staff to help sell these assets.
Got you. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to hearing how it progresses, and I'm sure we'll get updates. And so there's one member of the advertising committee will be a member of council, or will it just be someone appointed by President Scott?
Appointed by President Scott.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else on introductory number 35? Hearing none, may I have motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Ayes have it. Thank you. Introductory number 36 is authorizing an agreement for the Gus Macker 3-on-3 tournament. Questions, comments, concerns?
Move to adopt.
Been moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Introductory number 37 is authorizing an mandatory booking and production services agreement for the 2020 Rock Summer Soul Festival, Soul Music Festival. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Move it.
Been
Second.
moved. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Introductory number 38, authorizing an mandatory agreement to provide for sound, lighting, staging, and power production services for the 2020 Rock Summer Soul Music Festival.
Move to adopt.
Been moved to
Second.
adopt. Second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Introductory number 63, amending bond ordinance number 2020-3 to finance the cost of improvements to specified city school district schools. Questions, comments, concerns? May I have a motion? Something's been moved to second?
Second.
Second? No, don't all jump at once.
Try not to do them all, you know.
City owns some, we own the building, so yeah, we like it. All in favor?
Abstain.
The ayes have it, and one abstention from Councilmember Harris. Introductory number 64 is a mandatory bond ordinance 2018-381 to finance the cost of improvements to specified city school district schools. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. May I have a motion?
Move it.
Been moved. There's second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
The ayes have it, and one abstention from Councilmember Harris. That concludes our legislation. The only thing I will note is that staff and other folks should be getting from myself, I can't believe it already, the proposed budget timeline for the upcoming budget. And it's February 13th already. This is crazy. But that will be coming shortly. Time is flying. Is there any other business come before the Finance Committee? Yes, Council Member Patterson.
Just a question for you, sir.
Yes.
There's a proposal before the school board to make changes to their pre-K program, a program that is held dear and beloved by many of us in the community. Is there any information that you can share at this time regarding that?
I hope to be able to share some information. I've been given two different presentations. One that was presented to the school board that I have not looked at yet, that talks about the proposed changes to the program, and also there is another document out there that talks about the cost that was done from someone in the community. So I think that is something that we should ask more questions about going forward, but I don't have any definitive information because I have not read the stuff that has been sent to me yet related to that.
If when you get it, you could share it with all members of council who have an interest, it would be
Absolutely.
greatly appreciated.
I'll make sure I'll get that to everyone, including the presentation. I'll forward that to folks.
Okay, thank you, sir.
It's a frequently asked question type thing, and then some other stuff. Anything else? With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.
At this time, I call the Neighborhood Business Development Committee to order and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Patterson.
Here.
Councilmember Lupian. Councilmember Ortiz. Vice President Lightfoot.
Here.
President Scott.
Here.
Introductory number 30, let the record reflect that the committee is joined by all other members of council. Introductory number 39, authorizing the sale of real estate. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, I need a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Item passes. Introductory number 40, authorizing agreements for the Asset Control Area Program. Questions, comments, or concerns? Councilmember Gruber.
Just wondering around how many properties there are that we expect to be sold in this program, roughly?
We gave you the numbers for the last 5 years. I think it was 45. I don't know that we have that information. We know the area, and then we're just the recipient of what comes to us from that area. So I don't know that we can forecast that.
Has it been pretty consistent over the years? I mean, I saw what you sent, but just generally speaking, is it?
Probably, but it's probably somewhat connected to the rate of foreclosures,
Right.
and they've been down, so.
Thanks.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, I need a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Item passes. Introductory number 41, authorizing a lease agreement for a portion of 855 West Main Street. Questions, comments, or concerns?
I have a question.
Councilmember?
In the questions returned back from the agenda review, it says that it's expected that tenants will be moved out by winter of 2021, but the lease is for 3 years. Just wondering if you could explain that.
Well, I think we have to prepare for, you never know what the end date will be. We're continuously trying to help people relocate now. So, our hope is that it happens sooner than that. But, we have to assure people they have a place to stay in case that doesn't happen.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item passes. Introductory number 42, resolution approving appointments to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, need a motion and a second.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
All in favor? Item passes. Introductory number 43, authorizing a lead agency agreement between the City Council and the Mayor regarding environmental review. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item passes. Introductory number 44, authorize agreements and funding for the city's RISE program. Questions, comments, or concerns?
I have a question.
Councilmember Lupian.
How did we arrive at the amounts for each program?
Say that again?
How do we arrive at the amounts allocated to each program?
So in City Rise Phase 2, it was about a 6-month investigative process where we engaged the community on what we should be doing. We were partnered with Harvard University and the Hester Street Group, and in doing so, started to calculate out what the appropriate budgets would be. It's not a, it's kind of something that, you just have to have a feel for what you think you're going to need, like an emergency abatement program. We're setting it up to be a replenishing fund, so we think $200,000 will serve us well, but some of these are new endeavors.
That leads into my second question is, will there be other sources feeding the emergency abatement fund or repair fund?
No, not at this time. We don't envision needing that. I think the perception is that there's a lot of this activity that needs to happen. The reality is, we do have an 88% voluntary compliance rate. We also, once we start to institute some expectations and accountability associated with us going to correct those kind of violations, it'll probably even improve past that. So you're really left with abandonment situations.
Okay. And one last question. For the $300,000 for the land management, is that building blocks?
No, land management is a replacement of the mainframe system. So basically, it's an enterprise solution that's going to serve front-end users, of which buildings and zoning will be the first up, and replace our building information system.
Thanks.
No.
Councilmember Ortiz.
Just a quick question on the timing for us. I know the answer said that we're going to be working with the tenants union to develop the policy and procedures around the emergency program. Do you have an idea about when we would be either having that meeting or when we might be able to see something on that?
We've already had an initial meeting with the tenants union. We also have to engage landlords and property managers. We want to make sure that we have very clear expectations of when we'll be involved. so that folks don't falsely perceive we'll be involved. And we also want to make sure that we're setting ourselves up to be able to be successful. The thing with this program is we're not adding staff to facilitate this process. We are throwing this on top of an already congested environment. We believe we can do it because we truthfully believe that this is not going to be 100 situations. But we will work out a policy that's reasonable to all, and I think we could do that within a month.
In a month?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I do, actually, just made me think of one other thing on there. As we work through this, and I hear what you're saying exactly in terms of we don't think we necessarily need that, but what if? Do we have an opportunity for a contingency plan just in case, or is that something, if we need it, then we'll figure it out, or?
There's some flexibility in the allocation of funds in City Rise if we got to that. Like
Okay.
if it did get that urgent. Again, we're,
Okay.
Almost 2/3 through winter now.
Right.
We're prepared to act now, even if we don't have the policy in place, if it warrants it. We haven't had to. We've got a couple cases going to court because of that non-activity, but, we're just not seeing it. We're prepared for it, and we'll act in accordance with what we have to do, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, thank you.
All right, need a motion and a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item passes. With there being no other business before this, any other questions, comments, or concerns for this committee? Seeing none, we are adjourned.
Mitch.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to call the Parks and Public Works Committee to order. If the clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Gruber,
Here.
Councilmember Evans,
Present.
Councilmember Pio,
Here.
Vice President Lightfoot,
Here.
President Scott.
Here.
Okay, introductory number 45, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $1,900,000 bonds of said city to finance a portion of the city's 2020 water main cleaning and cement lining project of the distribution system water main renewal program. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 46, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $600,000 bonds of said city to finance a portion of the city's 2020 cured-in-place pipe project of the distribution system water main renewal program. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
In a second. Moved in second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 47, authorizing a funding agreement for the Blue Cross Arena Upgrades Project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? I'll look for a motion, please.
Move to adopt.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 48, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $1 million bonds of said city to finance the costs of the Blue Cross Arena Upgrades Project. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Move to adopt.
It's been moved. Looking for a second?
Second.
And seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 49, authorizing an engineering design services agreement for the 2020 Preventative Maintenance Group 11 project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Now I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Moved, and do I have a second?
Second.
And seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 50, authorizing an engineering design services agreement for preventative maintenance repairs to the East Main Street Bridge over CSX transportation right-of-way. Questions, comments, or concerns? Now I'll take a motion. Moved.
Second.
And seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 51, authorizing agreements, land acquisition, and funding modifications for the East Main Street Improvement Project. Before I open up for any questions or comments, I'd like to just make one comment, well, probably several comments. But first of all, I'm very excited for this project. It's called Main Street for a reason. You know, it's a big moment for us to redo our Main Street, and I love to see the passion that's been that's come from the community on this, passion from neighborhood groups. We've seen passion from different business associations, advocacy groups. I particularly am excited about the isolated bike lanes. I think that's going to really transform Main Street in a lot of ways. But, you know, we're obviously also at a point where we can't please everyone, and we've been going through this process and getting a lot of feedback from the community, and I think we're at a point right now where we have a lot of different competing groups, a lot of competing interests, and that's a good thing. I think the conflict that's associated there will lead to the best Main Street possible. And I really commend you and your team, Commissioner Jones, on going above and beyond and getting feedback and really trying to make sure everyone gets what they want. It's possible at this point that, as we've all seen emails at council, it's possible not everyone will get what they want. And I think that's okay. It's something we have to live with. But what I would ask is that we make sure that there's ample opportunity for there to be real transparency about what the design is. Moving forward, you know, we're going to go forward with this today because this is about getting the funds in place and letting your team do what you do, and there'll still be an opportunity to talk about design. So I know there's a lot of concern and anxiety around there. This will be the Main Street that we have until the day that I die, right? I thought we're going to do a lot more with Main Street in the next 50 years. Okay, fair enough. Good point. But design-wise, this might be it for my lifetime, right? So let's get it right. Let's take the time. Let's make sure we have the conversations. And I appreciate all the work that's been done so far. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
Yeah, I just want to, Commissioner Jones, you and I have talked quite a bit about this project in the last couple of weeks, and I appreciate your dedication to listening to as many people as want to talk your ear off. So I really appreciate that, and I'm also looking forward to this project, and share the Councilmember Gruber's request that it continue to stay transparent. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on this? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Introduction number 51A, authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance of 100% of the federal aid and state Marchicelli program aid eligible costs of a transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds therefor. East Main Street reconstruction, North Goodman Street to Culver Road. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move to adopt.
Moved.
Second.
Seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Introduction number 52, authorizing an amendatory agreement for designing police department section offices. I would just echo the same thing that we just said, Commissioner Jones. Again, I think there's a lot of really good energy around this subject, and I think we're moving in the right direction. I see the design's not final yet, but there's some renderings. Do you have a sense of how close we are to a final design?
Pardon me. Councilperson Gruber, we're around 65% design. At 75%, that's considered final. We're working with our major stakeholder, which is RPD. They have to basically live in that site and be able to perform appropriately in that site, along with the service center. We've had numerous engagements or opportunities to get feedback from the public, and we'll continue to do that. Once we get to around 75% final design, we will be going out again to the different neighborhood groups talking about it, such as Beechwood, Emma, North Whitten Village. Anyone that will have us will be there talking about what's going on with this project.
And I did have a chance to talk to Kyle
who's the president of the Beechwood Neighborhood Association, that has some concerns about the preliminary designs, and encouraged him to send the letter. I know that council was included on an email today to send a letter. There are some things that we cannot design or change in the design because it is a police station. There are federal and state requirements. There are also some union things like parking and the ability to have enough parking spaces for personal cars as well as the cars of our police cars. And so we agreed, he and I had agreed that he would send a letter. We would go through that letter and tell them what is negotiable and what's not. We do recognize that a police station doesn't look like it's a warm and fuzzy sort of place, which of course the neighborhood association would be looking for, but there may be some things in softening the color and some of the landscaping that we do that could be helpful, and we are definitely going to work with them to do that and outline for them if we can't do something as to the reason why we can't do it. I want to make sure that we engage the community and keep them informed as we move forward with not only this design but the other ones as well.
That's great. For me, I mean, I would agree that I'm sure there's lots of regulatory things. I think one of the things that council talked about and was excited about over the last couple of years was the neighborhood service center being the kind of entrance, and I'm not sure how much flexibility there is for that to be the kind of front of the building and the police substation to be in the back. But I'm sure that's what you'll hear from the neighborhood association, and I'm just glad the conversations are happening. Any other questions? Councilmember Pio?
Comment from myself and the Maplewood Association as well as Charlotte Association. We're very much looking forward to this. It looks like an amazing thing coming to our neighborhoods. One thing we would like to possibly institute is a state-of-the-art air filtration system for the benefit of the employees and RPD there, because the smell that comes from the treatment center can be very wafty.
Well, Councilperson Pio, we will definitely meet all the ASHRAE HVAC requirements in regards to CFM that will be moved throughout the facility. We have state-of-the-art filtration systems, and that's one of the things that we make sure that we comply with.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Introduction number 53, authorizing an amendatory agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation for snow and ice control. Questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
Motion moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 54, authorizing an amendatory agreement for the Rock the Riverway Management Entity Study. Questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll take a motion. Moved.
Second.
And seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 55, authorizing an agreement for the illumination of High Falls. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Motion.
Second.
So moved. It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 56, bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $770,000 bonds of said city to finance the cost of the Rundle Library Structural Terrace Improvements Phase 4 project. Any questions? Councilmember Lupien.
Is there a breakdown of the costs associated with this?
We can provide you a breakdown.
Thank you.
Any further questions? If not, I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And I abstain as a member of the library board. Anyone object? Any objections? If not, motion passes. If there's no other business before the Parks and Public Works Committee, then we are adjourned.
As as the different staff are taking their seat, I just want to make mention of the fact that I don't think my dear colleague mentioned that he had a birthday just recently, Councilmember Malik Evans, to turn 40 years old. So I wanted to wish him a happy birthday. Just last week. Getting this grown man on now.
Got the gray hair to prove it.
All right, Madam Clerk, at this time, we'd like to call the Public Safety, Youth, and Recreation Committee to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Vice President Lightfoot.
Present.
Councilmember Gruber.
Here.
Councilmember Harris.
Here.
Councilmember Ortiz. Here. President Scott.
Here.
I'll let the record reflect that we are also being joined by all the rest of the other members of our council. Introduction number 57, appropriating forfeiture funds and authorizing an agreement to support police department community engagement programs. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Introductory passes. Introductory number 58, authorizing the receipt and use of grant funds and amending the 2019-20 budget for Project Clean. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns?
Move to adopt.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 59, authorizing funding agreements and amending the budget related to the Rock City Skate Park. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns? None, I entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Introductory number 60, authorizing agreement for a tour of historical black colleges and universities for city youth. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns? If none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Introductory passes. Introductory number 61, authorizing intermunicipal agreement for My Brother's Keepers program. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns? If none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any,
Abstain.
one abstention? Any opposed? Introductory passes. Introductory number 62, authorizing a military agreement for the loan use of the phone trailer and equipment for fire suppression. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns?
Move to adopt.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Introductory number 65, authorizing agreement for a boxing demonstration program. Any questions, comments, and/or concerns? If none, I entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Introductory passes. Thank you. There's no other business coming for the Public Safety, Youth, and Recreation Committee. I'll now say that we are adjourned.
That concludes our business for this evening. We'll see you at the full council meeting on Tuesday at 6, 7. We'll be there.